Primer combate de la noche. División 52 kilogramos. Árbitro Armando Carbonell.
Well, back to the main action. Cuba only lost once this season. A 3-2 defeat to Russia was in the regular season. A result they atoned for in the first leg in Moscow. And Russia lost 5-0 away to Cuba in week 3. And that will be playing on their minds as they step into the ring tonight against homeboys Cuba. So, will it be heaven in Havana for Russia, or will Cuba get through to the final in their first ever WSB season? It's electrifyingly close, and if the 5 fights result in Russia winning 3 of the bouts, the night will end in a sudden death contest involving 2 heavyweights. As I mentioned before, Cuba's O&O, Lenier Perot, against Russia's much more experienced 2-1 Sergei Kalchigin.
So making his way behind the Russian flag bearer is Ovik OGANNISIAN, 21 years of age, ranked number 22 in the World Series boxing rankings this season. His first season in World Series boxing, having made his debut in week 10. You see confirmation of that. Lost that debut bout in week 10 against the number 3 ranked flyweight boxer, Elias Emegidio of Mexico. Mexican ending his season with an undefeated 3-0 campaign. That was OGANNISIAN's debut. He's awaiting the semi-final second leg matchup, and his opponent, Leodan NUñEZ, is similarly experienced. Identically experienced, in fact, because he too has had only 1 bout in his World Series boxing campaign to this point in his career. But unlike OGANNISIAN, he emerged victorious, and it was a significant win as well, because he beat in week 10 Magomed Abdulhamidov, the 18th ranked World Series boxer. At the 52-kilogram flyweight division, he had a record of 11-1 going in, came into the contest riding an 8-fight win streak, but it was NUñEZ with his silky skills who prevailed during that week 10 encounter. Again, just to put into context what a significant win that was, Abdulhamidov ended seasons 1 and 2 ranked as the number 3 ranked boxer in World Series boxing action.
Ovik OGANNISIAN. En la esquina de Domadores de Cuba, Leodan NUÑEZ.
Well, no doubt as to who is the home fighter. Generous round of applause for Leodan NUñEZ. Slight advantage in height for NUñEZ. OGANNISIAN listed at 5'6" or 168 centimeters tall. NUñEZ appears the more rangy figure. I can tell you that isn't Mick Bussey. But the opening bell sounds. It's scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the 52-kilogram flyweight division. Both boxers wearing white trunks, but the boxer operating out of their southpaw stance and trimmed with the Cuban colors of red and white and blue is Leodan NUñEZ. Got a 1-0 record, and automatically the right-hand pot shot that he just scored with brought a round of applause from the crowd. The man operating out of the southpaw stance, representing Russia in the solid white trunks, is Ovik OGANNISIAN. Both of these boxers have had 1 contest each to this point in their World Series boxing careers, and both will be keen to get their teams off to a winning start. Boxing, of course, the ultimate individual sport, but all of these guys coming with the pressure of representing the team and indeed an entire nation as well. So just around a minute gone in the opening round of this 52-kilogram flyweight contest. It's scheduled for 5 threes in World Series boxing action.
Well, already
the head guard no longer a feature of AIBA boxing, of course, since the world champs in Almaty, Kazakhstan at the back end of last year. But in World Series boxing action in this, its 4th season, the vest or head guard has never been a feature, and it's 2 rounds longer than top quality AIBA Olympic competition.
Well, already we're seeing a sparky start to this from NUÑEZ. He's bringing the action. It's interesting because OGANNISIAN having a little look-see and great evasive skills. It's interesting because the Cuban style, always very sparky, very creative, and interesting to see the Cuban orthodox stance, actually. But it's the Russian that's southpaw. 22 years of age, OGANNISIAN, and 168 centimetres. They've both got an equal record in the WSB. But this is an all-important clash to get the teams off to a very, very good start here. But already, NUñEZ starting to put the pressure on, connecting with that right hand. Settled down a pace midway through this round, but they've livened up towards the end, and we're seeing some big shots. Starting to get just a little scrappy. First time we've seen the referee step in. But a little bit of blood from the left eye of NUñEZ now, going towards the end of this round.
Indeed, we just got to take a closer look, and indeed the referee wants to do just that. Approaching the closing stages of this opening round, and you can see that cut high above the left eyebrow of NUñEZ. He won't be aware as to the significance or severity of that cut. Ringside doctor being called to take a look. Timeout has been called by the official. The doctor has signaled that NUñEZ is okay to continue, so considerable adversity for NUñEZ and his corner to deal with if he makes it to the end of this opening round. Poise and patience going to be absolutely key now. How much encouragement will OGANNISIAN take from that? Far more confident. The hands have dropped down by the belt line. Both men feinting and looking for openings after a competitive opening round of boxing, one in which the Cuban representative, the home fighter, Leodan NUñEZ, has a significant looking cut above his left eyebrow. The corner team going to work. They hope to staunch the flow of blood. NUñEZ is going to be crucial that he keeps his mind on the job.
Well, we look at the action here, and it's hard to gauge where the punch came from that caused the problem for NUñEZ. There was some blood under the eye, and that gave an indication that it was a cut underneath, but it was flowing down from the top. But, well, you can see the aggressiveness of OGANNISIAN, and he took control midway through the round and put NUñEZ right on the back foot, but psychologically, that's going to have an effect on how the second round plays out.
So the judges,
Seconds
all
out.
three of them seated ringside who are scoring, see the opening round in favor of NUñEZ. Remember, 5 judges seated ringside, 3 of them selected without their prior knowledge, and those will be the scores that determine the outcome of the round and the bout. First round scored unanimously in favor of the home fighter, Leodan NUñEZ. So into the second round we go. 5 threes here in 52 kilogram flyweight division World Series boxing action. And both of these boxers, even though they're inexperienced in terms of World Series boxing competition, talented boxers in their own right. Good right hand to the body border roar from the crowd here in Havana. OGANNISIAN, the 2013 European Championship bronze medalist from Minsk in Belarus last year, including a win over Vincenzo Picardi. And the second preliminary round eventually lost to Michael Conlon in the semi-final. Conlon lost to his great rival and nemesis, Andrew Selby, in the gold medal bout. Leodan NUñEZ, under-16 champion, as he gets through with a couple of snaking straight shots. But was an under-16 champion in 2009 in the national championships at 48 kilograms. 2-time national senior bronze medalist at flyweight in 2013 and 2012 as well. So that progression from the junior ranks through to the senior ranks, we appear to have another hugely talented fighter of what appears to be the Cuban conveyor belt of outstanding AIBA boxers. Representing the World Series boxing team here tonight in just his second outing. It's a second outing for OGANNISIAN as well. And just producing some more eye-catching punches as the blood continues to flow from that damage above the left eye.
Well, NUñEZ coming into this second round knew that he had to assert himself.
You see the referee just interjecting there because an old pro's trick being employed by OGANNISIAN. He took the laces of his glove and just rubbed that abrasive surface on that eyebrow to encourage a flow of blood a little bit more. The referee was onto it in a flash, but despite his World Series boxing inexperience, displaying that old pro's trick, lacing the cut just to encourage the flow a little bit more.
Well, it wasn't a serious cut from what we could see. The doctor said to fight on, but still, psychologically, OGANNISIAN has got the upper hand here. NUÑEZ, interestingly enough, has not been able to significantly impose himself on NUñEZ. NUñEZ has kept very, very agile, and apart from the little offside gaming of the rules here, this is a significantly better round for NUñEZ. That said, OGANNISIAN very strong, and I would say in the controlling position here, especially when it comes to the points at the end of the round. It'll be interesting to see if NUñEZ has made inroads in this second round, which he needs to do.
So hugely tactical second round to this point. Both boxers continue to battle for that prime ring real estate on top of the logo. Bell sounds to conclude this second round. NUñEZ just dabs at that injury above his left eye. The corner team get to work. Got the swab sticks, they've got the compress, they have petroleum jelly and adrenaline as well. Again, you see the snaking shots being pistoned out by both men. Rather flailing during that exchange. Bolo attempted to the solar plexus of NUñEZ from OGANNISIAN, but just short of range. That left hand did get through. The counter from NUñEZ just wide of the target. NUñEZ ending that exchange with a clipping right hook. And the competitive nature of that round reflected in the scorecards. One of the three judges seeing it in favor of OGANNISIAN, Judge A and Judge C seeing it in favor of the home fighter NUñEZ. So it's tied up for one judge. The other two judges have this man, Leodan NUñEZ, leading 2 rounds to 1. So we move into round number 3. Scheduled for 5 threes here in World Series boxing action. Both men will be aware of the status of this contest. Still everything to fight for, with 2 rounds in the bank. NUñEZ immediately onto the front foot, forcing OGANNISIAN backwards and trying to employ a snaking left jab. But OGANNISIAN marauds his way inside and again just employs a little bit of rough stuff at close quarters, but then he's tagged by a snaking right-left combination by the retreating NUñEZ. NUñEZ onto the front foot once more. OGANNISIAN happy to take the long route around the ring, but he's falling short with plenty of his punches. Could be a relatively new experience being the shorter man in the ring at this 52-kilogram flyweight class. You can see how rangy OGANNISIAN appears, but yet he's shorter than NUñEZ and appears to have a shorter reach as well. NUñEZ continuing to be the aggressor on the front foot. Good work to the body from OGANNISIAN as we approach the halfway stage of this third round.
Well, the action thick and fast. Both fighters realizing the importance of this third round, pivotal, with 2 going to the Cuban. I thought the work actually of OGANNISIAN was very strong in the first, in the second, but the judges saw it differently. The evasive work that OGANNISIAN is bringing to this, I thought was excellent. However, this is the round that we need to see the Russian make inroads, and well, he needs to pull this back if he's going to take the contest.
NUñEZ dropping down effectively to the body with a right hand bolo shot to the solar plexus.
Corner have done very well in stemming the flow of blood from that cut just above NUñEZ's left eye. So going out into the last minute of this round, buoyed with confidence. This looks like another strong round for the Cuban.
Well, southpaws and orthodox fighters can often make for untidy fights as their lead legs tangle. You may have seen on that previous wide shot the 2 boxers stepping on the lead legs of one another. You see it again there. NUñEZ just stepping onto the right foot lead of OGANNISIAN. Lots of flailing, plenty of shots missing, and in between those clusters and forward forays, there are some eye-catching shots being landed as well. But again, boxers content to trade misses at the moment. There's no lack of effort, but the range not quite what it should be in many of these exchanges. But then that combination ended on a good left hand shot out of that southpaw stance from OGANNISIAN.
Well, we're seeing a lot more heat coming to the punches now, a little bit more body weight behind the shot. I think NUñEZ, having assessed the situation, believes maybe just a little bit more power in the shots will secure things tidily for him. I have to say that third round was very strong for the Cuban, and we'll see in the replay just how well placed some of those shots were. OGANNISIAN, I think, was just going to have to settle for bowing out of this at this stage.
So again, you see the action there, both boxers pulling the trigger and letting their shots go, but during the course of these replay sequences, very little landing effectively. Boxers cancelling one another out with their range awkward styles. There was a clipping right hook before he dipped away neatly, OGANNISIAN, and there was a good right hand out of that orthodox stance from NUñEZ. So very difficult rounds to score. Crisp right hand again, because lots of punches are going in, but very few of them connecting effectively. NUñEZ taking the third round in unanimous fashion once again. So OGANNISIAN with an uphill task now. He trails by 1 for one judge and by 3 rounds for the 2 other judges. So into the 4th round we go. OGANNISIAN has perhaps got to try something different, because the tactics he's employed to this stage of the contest see him trailing by 3 rounds for 2 of the judges and by 1 round for the remaining judge. It's been a contest where we've had lots of flailing, lots of punches thrown, but just as in that exchange there, that the fight in microcosm, very little connecting. So both boxers occupying center ring. NUñEZ holding a hands up high. OGANNISIAN feinting, tempting and teasing with hands and shots down by his belt line. NUñEZ covering up well, but again, punches thrown out by the boxers before they fall into a rather untidy clinch. And the onus has to be on OGANNISIAN to try an adaptive type of strategy, because what was his plan A hasn't been effective to this point in the contest in getting his nose in front of NUñEZ. NUñEZ looking to extend his unbeaten record to 2 bouts in a row. OGANNISIAN looking to get back to even at 1 win and 1 loss in this, his 2nd World Series boxing action bout. So approaching the halfway stage of this 4th round. And an untidy clinch once more, remember. New emphasis on the rules in AIBA boxing. It's always been the way in World Series boxing. The referee is going to allow the boxers to work away on the inside. So that, a facet of the game that all World Series boxing competitors have to possess. See them attempting to go to the body. That will be scored and appreciated by the judges. But as much holding and grappling, that an art in itself in the boxing ring. Good work to the body from OGANNISIAN. And again, just tickling NUñEZ on his belt line. NUñEZ came back with a good right uppercut. But really good effective work around the torso of NUñEZ from OGANNISIAN in the previous 30 seconds or so, as we approach the final 30 seconds of this 4th round.
Well, a strong round once more for Leodan NUñEZ. Better work we've seen from OGANNISIAN, but crisper, sharper hands from the Cuban, and finishing strongly here. And I suspect, unless Ovik OGANNISIAN can remove the judges from the equation, this is going to be, well, a runaway train as far as the Cuban team is concerned.
Remember the status of the contest, as NUñEZ is rather tossed to the canvas judo style. And while the referee had come between to get NUñEZ to wipe off his gloves, the closing bell has sounded to conclude round number 4. Cuban corner continue to work on that cut which opened up in the opening round of this flyweight bout. They've done a good job staunching the flow of blood, and NUñEZ has done a terrific job keeping his mind on the task at hand and not being distracted.
Well, we get a chance to revisit on the tape just how that round played out for both fighters, and you can see the heat being applied by NUñEZ, really getting leverage in these shots, really putting pressure on the Russian. OGANNISIAN taking some heavy hits to the body. As Ronald has said, a bit flaily, but again, the judges' scorecards strongly in favour of NUñEZ with 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 across the board, all three judges.
So into the fifth and final round we go, the 52-kilogram flyweight opener of this semi-final second leg. And Leodan NUñEZ has boxed brilliantly to this point in the contest to open up a comfortable lead. He remains aggressive, he remains full of action, full of fight. And Ovik OGANNISIAN is going to have to put his man on the floor, and from his point of view, preferably keep him there for the count of 10 if he hopes to get his team Russia off to a winning start. Remember, from the opening leg, Cuba leading 3-2. They escaped Moscow with a one-bout advantage. Good left hand from OGANNISIAN. As again he goes to work the left uppercut. But Russia will have to win this match in order to force sudden death. If they get 3 victories here, they could force a sudden death. A 4-1 win would see them win outright, but it doesn't look as though they're going to get off to a winning start unless OGANNISIAN can put his man on the floor.
Well, this fifth and final round bringing the end to what has been a sparky start for both teams here. Of course, Leodan NUñEZ having that cut from the first round put him under pressure going through. Second round was tentative. The third, he came back strongly, been in control all the way through. Referee just warning him about the shot to the back of the head. You cannot say that Ovik OGANNISIAN has done anything wrong. He just hasn't done enough right here against a very classy opponent. And so, halfway through this fifth and final round, it's the Cuban that's showing us the class and style we know Cuban boxers and the Cuban team have got in truckloads. It's one hand clapping for OGANNISIAN as we play the round out, but with 4 playing 1 in favour of Cuba. Well, the result, I think, is already apparent.
So OGANNISIAN looking for that knockout punch as we're inside the final minute of this fifth round. NUñEZ will be aware of that. He'll have to caution against leaving his chin exposed. OGANNISIAN looking for a thunderbolt to put his man on the floor for a 10 count. But OGANNISIAN, the European Championship bronze medalist from last year, has been comprehensively outboxed for the most part. He took round 2 for one of the 3 judges who are scoring the bout. Otherwise, NUñEZ has boxed his way to what appears to be a comfortable points win. So the European Championship bronze medalist has been outpointed by Cuba's bronze medalist from the National Championships last year. Just gives you an idea of the strength in depth that the box is possessed in boxing. In this fight, crazy Caribbean island, high fives immediately for NUñEZ as he returned to the corner, because he appears to have increased and extended his unbeaten start to his World Series boxing career to 2 fights without defeat. OGANNISIAN gave it his all, throwing, flailing, and hard and hurtful singles, but look at the evasive action being employed from the waist from NUñEZ.
Very strong round in the fifth and final for NUñEZ. He was in control all the way. A lot of power, a lot of hench coming from OGANNISIAN in the shots, but they were to the body at a time when he really needed to headhunt to take the judges out of the equation. Crowd here in attendance already sensing what seems to be inevitable, and I would venture that that is a 5-round straight win across the board for the Cuban. Here's the official decision.
Juez 1, 50-45. Juez 2, 49-46. Juez 3, 50-45. El vencedor por votación unánime de los Domadores de Cuba, Leodan NUñEZ.
A deafening round of applause from the crowd in attendance greets the announcement of a unanimous decision points victory for Leodan NUñEZ. All three judges scoring in favor of the Cuban, 50-45 on two scorecards, 49-46 on the other. And Cuba off to a 1-0 start on the night. They lead 4-2 on aggregate after victory in the 52-kilogram flyweight contest. Jubilant scenes in the crowd. NUñEZ being given hugs and embraces of support from the well-wishers in the crowd. Everybody up on their feet here in Havana, and there is confirmation. NUñEZ outpoints OGANNISIAN, a unanimous points verdict in favor of the young Cuban. Improves his World Series boxing record to 2 fights unbeaten. OGANNISIAN falls to a record of 0 wins and 2 defeats.